Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jenny and I'm here today to share with you what I'm going to be reading for the month of July. Okay, so I have one carryover from my June TBR, and that is Euphoria, a novel by Lily King. Just didn't get to it in June. And this one is a love triangle set between some archaeologists, I always keep saying archaeologists, but I think they're actually anthropologists in the 1930s in New Guinea. And I believe that this is based on a little bit on Margaret Mead, if I'm not mistaken, but that's kind of all I really wanted to know. Excited to get to this one and see if I like it. As I mentioned last time in my TBR, love triangles are not my favorite thing to read about. So we will see if I actually like this one. And then the other novel I have is for my Fresh Reads project, and that is Old Soul by Susan Barker. So this is a 2025 release, and this is a literary thriller, I believe, about two men who encounter each other and realize, sorry about the glare, there we go, and realize that they both knew the same woman, and that this woman very much kind of wreaked havoc on their lives at some point, and they kind of embark on an investigation, on a journey together, where they discover that this woman has a trail that she left through many different people's lives, and they go to try to find her, I believe, and like figure out who she is and what she's doing to all these people. So interested to see if I like this one, and there will be a reading vlog about this one as it's a Fresh Reads. My Fresh Reads project is to read 2025, 2024, 2023 releases, because I tend to read more backlist than I do new books, and I'm trying to read at least one per month this year. I chose a book of poetry and prose as well. We Are the Ones We've Been Waiting For, Inner Light in a Time of Darkness by Alice Walker. So I really love Alice Walker's writing. I wanted to add another poetry collection to my reading list for the year, and this one was on my library to be read list. I think the title is very self-explanatory, especially the subtitle, Inner Light in a Time of Darkness. I think that I was looking for some of Alice Walker's wise words and wisdom, and I'm hoping that this will be a very uplifting read. I think that some of this is based on speeches she's given. Yeah, and they're kind of divided into little sort of different titles and things. So there are poems in here, but it's kind of mixed together with some prose. So it'll be interesting to see what this one's like. And then for nonfiction this month, I'm going to be reading Monsters: A Fan's Dilemma by Claire Dederer. So I first became aware of this book when I was judging for the BookTube prize in 2024. I'm not judging this year. And this was on the nonfiction list. And I really was drawn to it right away because I think this topic is fascinating. And I am very curious to read Claire Dederer's interpretation of it. And that is the idea that, do we forgive people who do artists who do bad things when we love their art? And so this is relating to something from a previous Fresh Reads vlog that I was reading, and I thought this was a good time to read this book and then make a video about this book and Theory and Practice by Michelle de Kretzer, so you can expect something coming. It will be most likely in my Bloomsbury Diary video. But this is a topic that I think is really interesting, and a lot of people interpret it differently. There are a lot of artists who've been canceled, for example, who people defend, or people think were wrongly accused, or people think other people are treating unfairly. It's a very interesting and loaded topic these days. And so like I said, I'm really interested to read what Claire Dederer has to say about it and see how it applies to my own kind of approach to this type of thing. And then my audiobook for July is The Electric Hotel by Dominic Smith. And this story is set in 1960s Hollywood, and we're following a former silent film director. I believe his name is Claude. And he is looking back on his life, and the Electric Motel was an actual real film, silent film, that was created by a different film director. And so Dominic Smith borrowed the film itself and then made up a story in relation to that. So it's kind of about a dying part of Hollywood a dying part of filmmaking, which was a silent film time, as it's moving into something new. And it's kind of that older person reflecting back on their youth, I believe. And I like that. I like that style for books. So I'm excited to read this. This will be my second Dominic Smith. I read The Last Painting of Sarah DeVos years ago and loved it. It was fantastic. And so I'm hoping to love this book just as much as I loved the other one. And then the last book is my Patreon book club pick for July, August, and September. And that is Georgia O'Keeffe by Lisa Mintz Messenger. And this is the Thames and Hudson World of Art series. So this is, I believe, what our book is going to be. I just have to confirm with one member to make sure that she's able to get her hands on this. And so this is, a short biography of Georgia O'Keeffe and some analysis of her work, I believe, and kind of a survey of her work and her life and all those great things. If this changes, if you're interested in joining book club and you're not sure if this is the book, you're welcome to send me a message, an email, or leave a comment here so that I can confirm with you that this is the book, and we can get to reading. Our book club is a really enriching place to be. We have a very relaxed way of looking at reading. If you haven't read all the passages, that's okay. We just get together, we talk about what we care to talk about in relation to the book. And so in my book club, it meets once a month in a live chat. And then there's also usually a post per month as well that you can comment on if you can't make the live chat. So that is Georgia O'Keeffe. I'm very excited to read more about Georgia O'Keeffe. I know I would say quite a bit about her, watch some films about her, etc. But it's always nice to learn more about artists that you admire. Okay, I'm just double checking, but yes, that is my reading for July. It's possible, as always, that I may add another book on here. We'll see. If I get through all these, I will be really happy with that result. And I want to thank you so much for watching and being part. And please, if you're new here, stick around. I always talk about the books that I've read into the next month. So I wrap up these books. You will hear my full thoughts on them. And I also make other videos about my art practice because I'm an artist. And when I travel, I am going to be doing 2 small trips in August. So there will be some travel videos coming up for that. And if you're interested in extra content, you can always head over to Patreon, where I have an extra video a month posted. And I would love to see you over there. So thank you again for watching, and I will be back again soon with another video.